Plaintiff Sheila Singletary says when she met the defendant, they were both clean from alcohol and drugs, and they ended up getting married. Sheila admits that they both relapsed during their marriage, but she insists she is now 5 years sober. Sheila's suing her ex for the value of a car. Defendant Tom Whitaker admits that he and Sheila relapsed during their marriage because they were hanging out with the wrong crowd. But he insists he has been clean off of crack for 5 years and now only uses alcohol. Tom's countersuing because he claims Sheila stabbed him in the chest.
All right, and ma'am, you're suing your ex-husband for $2,265 for the value of a car?
Yes.
And you're countersuing for $2,000 for pain and suffering due to an assault?
Yes.
Start with you.
Okay, Your Honor. I met Tom Whitaker in 2002, and both of us were clean off of drugs, crack, and alcohol. I also used to do like 26 Vicodins a day.
Man, are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious. I'm serious.
26?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And crack?
Yeah. 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 And drinking. And drinking too. Yeah. But during that time, I had like 5 years clean, you know, and he had like 1 year clean. And everything was going good. I have 8 kids. He did a lot with my kids. He had, you know, had them going to church and had them with their own little gospel group. But 2008, we ended up using again. And
how did that happen?
being around wrong people's places and things.
So you were clean for 5 years?
Yeah.
He was clean for 1?
Yes. And we started fighting, drinking again, just partying, just crazy.
When did you get clean again?
2010, I went back into rehab.
Okay. You
Yeah.
went into rehab in 10. Have you relapsed since then?
I have not. I had 5 years and 9 months clean.
Good. Good.
Thank you.
Let me hear from you, sir.
Back when we first met, like she said, you know, I was very active in the church. I was going to church and I had the kids singing in the group. When we did relapse, Your Honor, it was like because of the excessive drinking and going hang with the wrong crowd, going places and stuff. And I'm clean. I've been clean now, well, maybe like 5 years.
So when did you go into rehab?
I didn't go to rehab, Your Honor.
When? Oh, so you still getting high?
No, I go to church now, Your Honor. I got Jesus in my life, so that changed my life.
Okay. When did you stop getting high?
When I moved to North Carolina, and I think I've been in Carolina 5 years.
Plaintiff Sheila Singletary is suing her ex-husband, who claims Sheila stabbed him in the chest.
Now, you see how she knows the exact number of years, the exact number of months? That's how people in recovery, that's how clear they are about being in recovery. And you say you think it's been about 5 years.
I
still
deal
with alcohol?
Yes.
All right. And you don't use any drugs?
No, I don't.
Okay. And you've never stopped using alcohol?
No.
All right. So you, unlike any person I've ever met, are able to stop using the crack, but not the other triggers. You're able to do that?
Yes.
All
I was
right.
depressed.
You need to put that in a bottle.
Okay.
And
Thank you.
sell it.
Okay.
Here's how you use crack, and when you stop, you can still get drunk. If you've been a drug addict, you cannot use drugs or alcohol at all because at some point you'll relapse. You'll say, I think I want me a little crack like I used to. This little drunk high, boy, what if I was high off the crack? So let me just go get me some crack just this one time. And then boom, it's beam me up, Scotty. From then on, till you get some real rehabilitation, sir. All right, but if you want me to believe that.
Well, I've been tempted, but I didn't go. I've been tempted, very tempted. Lots of times. When I get depressed, I have been tempted, but I didn't go.
You just drink alcohol.
I stop myself and I get down and I pray.
Drunk.
Drunk. I pray drunk.
Pray
yes.
while you're drunk.
Yes.
All right, ma'am, let's get to the value of the car you're suing him about. What happened and when?
Okay. When he had came back from North Carolina, we reconnect far as, friendship, that's it. And I have a cousin that's in the hospital, so I had time to drive. And in the garage, we trying to find a parking space, and all of a sudden I feel something scratching the side of the car on the passenger side where I'm at. And I look, the car was dragging on the big, thick pole. So I'm like, you're gonna pay me for this car. So he agreed to, but of course, I never did an estimate then, because a couple of days later, we were on our way back to the hospital. We were pulling out of my driveway, and I have like 3 cars in my driveway. And only thing I know, I'm hearing something again. On the other side, he's too close to my daughter's car, and he don't scrape the other side of the car. Okay, that was just like a couple of days later. So I did that's when I did an estimate, and because he said he would pay me the first time, but then after that he told me, he said, well, just take me to court. So I said, okay, well, we will be going to court.
You have those estimates?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
What happened, sir?
Well, I was doing her a favor, taking her to the hospital to visit her cousin. And in the Portland hospital, there was a pillow, and I just turned too sharp, and I hit the side of the car. And I did tell her, I did say to her, I will pay for the damages. And then the other incident, it was ice outside, and I was back in the car, and the car slid over due to the weather condition. It hit the other car that was parked. But I did tell her, I said I would pay when I get back to working for her car, because I do feel responsible. But I don't feel responsible for the whole thing, because I was doing her a favor.
You told her you'd pay her.
Yes.
You don't feel responsible for doing
the whole...
No, you told her you would pay her.
Yes, I did.
You didn't tell her I would pay you less than it costs.
Right. I told her I was going to fix the car, Your Honor. Yeah. That's what I said.
And the second time, you're saying that's...
yeah, I was just backing out, and I caught the ice because it was snowing out, and the car slid and it just damaged like the mirror on the other car.
But that's not a defense. The law is you must accommodate the weather. Yes. In your driving. Yeah. And therefore, when you can't use that as a defense. So therefore, you're liable for that as well. Your counterclaim, sir, for pain and suffering due to an assault. What does she owe you for?
We were at her sister's house, and she was just constantly behind me, nagging, just aggravating me about little things she was aggravating me about. And so when I turned, I threw to dump some liquor on her face.
You threw liquor in her face?
Yes, I did, because she was on me aggravating me. Then I noticed that I was leaking, and she had done stabbed me in my chest. And when she stabbed me in my chest, I was like,
well, you won't throw no more. Go ahead.
Yeah, yeah, right.
And then what? Because I say that now because you're fine. Obviously, you're healed.
Plaintiff Sheila Singletary is suing her ex-husband, who claims Sheila stabbed him in the chest.
That's what you're suing her for responding to the alcohol that you threw in her face. And ma'am, the self-defense would only be allowed if you responded because you felt threatened by his action. And I guess somebody throwing something in your face, you might suspect that next the fist is coming.
Absolutely.
Or next that empty glass is coming upside your head. In which case you are able to defend yourself if you thought for one moment, I don't know, he might hit me with that glass too. The glass is a weapon. Be quiet. You throwing something in that woman's face. Where y'all from?
Rochester, New York.
Rochester, you glad you're not from Buffalo.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And I did that also because on a simple fact, he had putting his hands on me. When I had braids in my hair, 2 different times when we were basically fist fighting, he pulled my braids from out my hair where bald spots was all in my head, okay? And another incident, he was choking me, and and I should have. I didn't know he was going to say that, so that's why I didn't bring it. Where my whole neck, he had a razor to my neck, which scars was on my neck.
Yeah, what?
She was very, very violent.
Mm-hmm. Both of you.
She would attack me.
You probably both were violent while you were drug addicts and alcoholics.
Yes.
But you're the one suing her today. she probably can sue you 1,000 times too when you all were getting high fighting.
Yes.
So, ma'am, is that your defense? You have a self-defense here, and is your self-defense that you feared that he might use that glass as a weapon?
Yes, sir.
That's your
Yes, Your Honor.
self-defense? All right, I'll accept that as your self-defense, and I'll dismiss your claim because she believed you might have used that glass as a weapon after throwing the drink in her face, and she had then the right to use a weapon to defend herself.
Correct.
And with regard to your claim, ma'am, on the car, as you stated, you did agree to pay for the first accident. Even though you were doing her a favor, the law is that if a person is doing you a favor, they're only liable if they commit extraordinary negligence. And hitting a pole that is right in front of you is extraordinary negligence. And so you are liable for that first accident and as well for that second accident because you are supposed to accommodate the weather that you observe. And if it perhaps, did it look sunny and dry that day?
Yes.
You should leave
not
that
no
alone.
sunny and dry.
It looked sunny and dry?
No, sir. It was,
All right.
it was snowing out.
All right, you saw the snow.
How well she get that?
I believe y'all already know what
was
y'all
snowing
saying.
out.
Have a good day.
Thank you, Your
Judgment for
Honor.
you, yours dismissed.
It was nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you, baby.
Well, I would like to continue for him and I to remain friends because he is a good guy. And, I don't know if he feels the same way.
Yeah, I would like to remain friends.